Okay, welcome. It's Tuesday. Um, yeah, quick reminder what we're doing here. Today we're gonna focus on attention training or attention regulation. And obviously the more we practice that, the easier it gets. So I thought I'd set the tone with this quote from a really wonderful human being here in the Bay Area, Rachel Naomi Remen. She's a physician at UCSF. And here's what she has to say about attention. The most basic and powerful way to connect to another person is to listen, just listen. Perhaps the most important thing we ever give each other is our attention. And easier said than done, right? So I want to focus on two different types of attention that we've explored here before. The first one is this idea of focused attention. So when we listen to another person, we're really focusing on their words, the content of what they're describing, right? It's a very sort of laser beam like focused attention on what exactly are they saying. Now, the challenge with that is if we do that too much, then we might miss some broader things, which I would refer to as diffuse attention. And the reason I have these two different pictures here is focused attention is literally like a flashlight beam in a dark room. You can sort of see one thing at a time, but you don't really have a good sense of, you know, what else is in that dark room. You have to shine that light elsewhere. Um, Diffuse attention, however, is more like a lantern. It provides a bit of a glow to everything. So you can kind of take everything in at once, but you don't actually have the resolution or the details that you would get through the focused attention. So neither one is better or worse than the other, especially in one of these conversations that Rachel Remen is referring to. And I think in order to do this well, we need to cultivate both types of attention. So I thought we would explore that today. So let's start off by closing our eyes. And let's start right immediately with some focused attention. So focusing our attention on the sensation of our feet in contact with the ground. And notice how when we direct this focused beam of attention to our feet, it is in some ways at the expense of other sensations or of the awareness of other things going on. And that's okay. Right now we're going to just focus this attention on our feet. You can wiggle your toes, activate more sensory experience down there. And the idea right now is to really take in what it's like to have contact with the ground through your feet, or if you're laying down, whatever parts of your body are in contact with the ground, just notice. And as I mentioned earlier, notice that while we are focusing on our feet, we are to some extent filtering out or excluding other sensations. So now let's invert that and focus on, or sorry, poor choice of words. Activate diffuse attention, meaning zoom out and notice that there you are, contact with the ground, either with your feet or another part of your body. But there's a whole body attached to your feet. See if you can zoom out a little bit and just notice the overall felt sense of what it's like to have a body with a pelvis, with a belly, chest, hands and fingers, the head. It's all connected to those feet. not focusing on any one thing in particular, but just taking it all in. And noticing the different quality of attention that diffuse attention offers us versus this focused laser beam of attention. And then let's activate our focused attention again, and this time focusing on hands. In my case, my fingers are interlocked, palms of my hands are touching, temperature, sensation. And again, I'm very aware of the fact that by focusing on my hands, my fingers in this moment, it means that I'm not focusing on other things. So I'm very deliberate about this attentional control. And now let's make this attention a little more diffuse. So while you notice that there are palms and hands and fingers, there's also a belly, and a chest, legs and feet, head. See if you can hold whole body in your attention without focusing on any one specific part of your body. And this is diffuse attention. Now see if you can translate these two types of attention to a memory of a conversation that you were having with someone. Maybe a conversation that felt a little bit strained or difficult. See if you can go back in memory and now activate focused attention. What are they saying? The exact words that they were using to describe their experience. What's it like to really listen to what they're saying without interrupting? And now just noticing that by just listening to the words or just the content of what they're describing, we're, we might be missing some other things. There's a feeling tone to how they're communicating. There are facial expressions. There's a general sense of the energy that they're bringing to the conversation. So that's diffuse attention is zoom out a little bit while they're saying the words, describing what's going on for them. See if you can also tune into these other aspects of their being, because there's a lot of information there as well. Ideally, this doesn't mean that we stop listening to the words or we stop listening to the details, but we're just adding, opening up our lens and adding in more information that isn't necessarily just verbal. So listening is much bigger than just the words. And ideally, we can consciously switch back and forth between these different types of attention. So see if again you can let go of the bigger picture and zero into, again, what are the specific words that are being used, or because that'll come in really handy when we want to reflect back to them what they said. We want to make sure we're getting the details. And then let's bring it back to the present moment. So go back to the feet, focusing on the feet. And softening that gaze, that attentional gaze, and noticing that there's a whole body and a mind attached to those feet. See if you can hold all of that in your attentional awareness. And now moving beyond the body, noticing sounds in your environment, maybe noticing the texture of the chair, the bed. In other words, diffusing the attention even more, just beyond the body, to include our environment. And take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. And hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale, diffuse attention, noticing everything around you. And slow exhale through the mouth, noticing the body, the room, sounds, all of it. And hold that exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Come on back to the session. Yeah, hope this gives you something fun to play with. And again, big part of it is just being able to do this on demand. And of course, the more we practice outside of difficult or stressful situations, the easier this becomes. And then just full transparency, this is sort of an ongoing, process. I don't think we ever get to a place where we are, quote, good listeners. I think depends on the people, the situation, but I think having some of these tools in our subconscious toolkit is pretty helpful. So hope that was good. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks, Donovan. Uh, I
Thanks.
unfortunately can't stick around today. I need to get on another call, but yeah, hope to see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.